Well, welcome back everybody. It is a beautiful Friday morning. Today I'm at a place I've never been before. I didn't really know that it existed. And believe it or not, even though I am surrounded by a very dense woodland, I'm only about, I would say, half a mile from a major interstate. And I'm not sure if you can hear the cars. Let me be quiet and see if I can hear the cars. You may not be able to hear them, but I can hear them just fine. But I'm not in traditional hiking or photography style clothes, as you can tell. My wife bought me these. She had them. I walked in there this morning to get my camera gear ready and get dressed to go, and she had this new outfit for me laid out on my chair, on my recliner, so I'm wearing that for her, basically. But I do like it. I like the camouflage pattern. I like the shirt. It's comfortable. It's stretchy. And I've sprayed my legs down since I have shorts on and just regular old kind of tennis shoes. Actually, they're Hey Dudes, but sprayed my ankles and my feet down with some bug spray, so hopefully I won't have the mosquitoes or ticks trying to crawl up my legs. So anyway, it's a beautiful day. I think the high for today is 82 degrees, and that is with no humidity. It's so nice outside. So I'm gonna get down this trail. This trail kind of goes back and forth. It winds, it does loops, it actually crosses the path, several spots where you've walked previously. And I think total it's over 5 miles worth of hiking. Now, will I hike that much? I'm not sure. We'll see what we find, and if I can find several compositions, and I'll just head back to the truck and call it a day. So with that being said, let's hit the trail and go see what we can find. All right, y'all. Well, we've come to our first composition that I'm actually gonna take a shot of. I've seen several that was a possibility, but I decided to wait, and I'm glad I did. To my right here, you'll see what Google calls a red cedar tree. And you have to admit, that's pretty cool. It looks dead, but it's not. It's just the way the tree looks. It's got the canopy is full of greenery. So it's not dead, it just looks like that. And if you look behind me, let me get out of the way just a little bit. There's kind of staggered everywhere. They're all in this woodland. This is the biggest one I've seen. There's one just to the right of the big one, and then just past those two, right on the other side of the trail where it goes through like that, there's two more. And I started off down there on the other side, kind of setting up compositions, moving around with my camera, going up and down, left and right, figuring out, what works the best. Because I was originally going to do a black and white, and these things are really dark, so I figured it would look kind of nice, good contrast, dark colors in contrast with the bright spots where the sun's hitting the forest floor and lighting up this grass. But I came over to this side of it, and I'm glad I did because I like this option a lot better. I've got my camera set up just over here off the screen, facing this way, and basically what I'm going to do, and I'll bring you over there in just a second, I've set my aspect ratio to 16:9, and the reason I did that, just to eliminate a little extra clutter that I don't want in the scene. I don't want a lot of the sky in the scene. It's bright sky coming through, so I did change it to 16:9, and I lowered my camera down a little bit to kind of eliminate as much of the sky as I can. And I only want just here from this tree over to the other side of the other two cedars just down the trail. So now we do have, I've said, I think in my last video, I personally like compositions with trails going through them. I just do. It just seems like when I take the picture and I get it back home, once I edit the photo, to me it's a nice, peaceful picture. It just is. I don't know why, I just like it. I'm a sucker for trails going through the woodland. So anyway, I'm gonna get set up on my camera. I've already taken the shot, but I'm gonna show you what I did and what my settings were for this image. Well, I know it's hard for you to see my screen from there, but this is where I've got it set up. So my settings, I've got it at ISO 200. I shot this one at f11 because honestly I didn't want a focus stack, and I did do some test shots. I tried f5.6, I tried f8, and then f11, and I chose to go with f11, and I focused just on the furthest cedar tree. And when I went back on my screen and checked it, everything was in focus. At least it was good enough for me. You know, I don't have to have everything perfectly crisp and sharp. Sometimes I prefer to leave some parts of the scene slightly out of focus, because it kind of gives you more of an ethereal kind of look to the photo sometimes. So anyway, but yeah, this is it was ISO 200 f11, and with the amount of light that we have in the woods right now, and focusing on that tree and a polarizer on, because it's the light is so harsh through these woods, that gave me roughly 1/10 of a second. So I took the picture. I might as well just take another one now. So yeah, I think it looks good. It's definitely a good shot for the first shot of the day. I'm hoping to find many more better images than this, but so far I like this little shot. Just enough to kind of get me going for the day. So I'll put that on the screen for y'all now. I hope y'all like it. So today, by the way, just for those of you who care, today is October the 11th, and no, I take that back. It's October the 10th. You know what? I don't know what day it is. Let me just find out. It's October the 10th. So fall has not come for us yet. The last video I made, I said I probably would not be out on another excursion, another photography trip until fall hits. But honestly, it feels so good outside. The leaves aren't necessarily changing just yet, but it feels too good not to be out. So there's a few trees that probably can't see that, but just over there, a few trees that the leaves are, you know, kind of starting to turn a little bit, but nothing like they will be in about a month from now. So it is what it is. I'm enjoying the day, just being out, walking, and not being too hot like it typically is. So thank the Lord for that. All right, let's go. Man, are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? Look how pretty that is. Probably hard to tell on this one because I've got my aperture on this camera at 2.8, focus it on me, and that's probably out of focus. But let me step off camera so you can see, possibly see. It's like this beautiful meadow of just beautiful green grass. Just all kinds of trees, different variety of trees just mixed in there. But we have a problem. I wore these. I don't have my normal pants. I don't have my normal boots. And I'm not going off in that. That grass is probably 2 to 3 feet high. And there could be snakes in there. I don't know what's in there. So I'm not gonna, as bad as I wanna go over there and set up a composition, I'm not gonna do it because I'm scared of what's underneath that. So this is the one time, the one and only time I wear this type of clothing. Kind of bites me in the butt. But there is I'm talking about huge. If I had to guess the diameter of that white oak tree back there, it has to be at least 4 feet in diameter. It's huge. That's probably the biggest white oak I've ever seen in my life. So I'm going to get a picture of it, handheld. I'm not going to set up my tripod. I'm going to get a few pictures of just this area and just a few snapshots because I can't pass it up. But if you are interested in my settings, because I'm hand holding, I had to bump up my ISO a good bit. I'm at ISO 500, f5.6, and that's still only giving me roughly 1/60th of a second. But I do have, I think, what is it, like 8 stops or 7 or 8 stops of image stabilization built into this camera and lens, so I'm hoping it helps me. For those of you who also don't know, I shoot with a Canon R5, and I have many different lenses, but I'm shooting with my 24 to 105 right now. Ooh, doggy, this is pretty. I just wish I could go over there and move some of those sticks and stuff, because I can't. It's just in the way. I think I'm really going to test out the capabilities of the removal tool and Lightroom and see if I can use AI and get rid of some of this stuff on the forest floor, because it's very cluttery, but man, so pretty. This is what I wish. I didn't bring my drone either because I did not have it charged, and I wish I could just take the drone and slowly go through the forest and give you some good footage of that. Kind of messed up a good bit on this trip because, to be honest, it was kind of last minute. I didn't really plan on coming out today, but it was kind of last minute. I didn't want to sit at the house, so I was like, let's get out of the house and go do something. So that's why I'm unprepared. I'm just trying to move around, get different separation on these trees, like so they're not crossing over each other. All right, I think I've wasted enough time with this scene, so if I like any of these, I'm sure I will throw them on the screen for y'all now. Hope you like it. Man, look at this. I don't know if it shows through on the camera like it does here. I mean, I know it doesn't, but look at all these trees. I'm pretty sure that's a red oak. Maybe the one behind it is I think it's a red oak. I think they're all red oaks. My daddy would know. He knows all trees. If you're watching, I'm pretty sure you will. He knows everything about trees. I don't know diddly squat, but they're huge. That thing's, it's probably 5 foot in diameter, and they're all throughout here. And I think this is the same meadow, the same little area that I was just photographed a few seconds ago, but looking at it from a different angle. God, beautiful, beautiful out here. Other than the spider webs, it's beautiful. All right, y'all, here's my setup. Those enormous trees, they're not necessarily wide, but they're very tall. So that's what I'll be shooting. And I'm just going to set my camera up just like that, so I can kind of walk you through the composition. All right. Ugh. Bows are starting to pop up. So I haven't taken the shot, but I have it framed up. I have my settings set. And as I showed you before, I've got these 4 trees. There's some smaller ones in there too, but the main ones I'm focusing on are these big trees with that, I believe a red oak is what it is, right dead in the center. And it is way up there. It's a huge tree. But with these green grasses all over the floor, all over the forest floor. I'll call it a forest floor. I don't know what y'all would call it, but the grass on the ground, to put it in layman's terms, it's just so vibrant and green, and the dappled lighting from the sun hitting it, man, it looks amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this shot right now because, oh, I forgot my 2-second timer. Hang on, let me delete that one. Go back, 2-second timer. I'm taking one of the foreground just in front of the camera of the grass right now. I'm gonna take one of the mid-ground. And I'm gonna take one of the big tree in the background. And that's what we're gonna go with for the focus stack. And as far as settings goes, ISO 500, f6.3, and it's giving me roughly 200th of a second. But it may not turn out, it's not gonna turn out as pretty as it is in person. It never does, but it's quite a scene. Beautiful woods in here. But I was on my way to the stream to take a look at it, if it's not dried up, which it may be because we have only gotten rain one day in the past like month. But and I just saw this scene, I just had to take it. It's beautiful. So I'll put that on the screen for y'all now. We'll head on to the next location. All right, found another little quick shot, little composition, and I got set up. Figured it'd be a good opportunity to eat a little snack. I haven't eaten anything since breakfast today. It is 1:44 in the afternoon, obviously, but composition is pretty simple. What might it be, you ask? Well, you guessed it. Just another path leading through the woods. So I've got my polarizer on. I'm shooting at f6.3. I only want the very end of the trail. I'll turn the camera around in just a second. I'll show you what I'm looking at, but it's just basically a straight shot, a trail with trees that are kind of overhanging. And I'm going to focus on the far end of the trail at f6.3 and ISO 400, and that gives me 1/100th of a second. So I'm going to make sure my 2-second timer is on, and it is, and I'm going to take that before this light changes. I had a cloud that just was about to cover the sun, so I think I got it just in time. I'm gonna actually take another version of this shot, more compressed. I'm gonna really compress the scene a good bit. Zoom on in here on my lens. And I'm going to just give it a few seconds because I'm gonna wait for that light to come back out. Here it comes. All right, here it goes. So I have stopped down 2/3 of a stop. Because in my mind, I know what I'm going to do with it in Lightroom, and I want it just a little bit darker because the very end of the trail where I focused at is much brighter than the rest of the scene because it's more open and the sun's getting to it. So 2/3 of a stop down and take the shot, and then if I need to brighten up anything else, I will, but the edges of the scene will definitely be darkened. And yeah, I think it'll make it a nice little shot. I guess because it's Friday, I don't know why, but I haven't seen anybody on this trail. It's just a long trail. I've seen no one. And I've been here. Let's see. I've gone 2.31 miles and I've been here 2 hours and 34 minutes. So, if this video gets a little bit long, I apologize, but man, I'm just seeing a lot of things I like, so I gotta take a picture of it. Thank you to all who are sticking with me through the video. If you haven't clicked off yet. So anyway, I just want to. My daddy, I call him Daddy. A lot of people call their dads Dad, Daddy, Father. I call mine Daddy, but I had two of the best parents you could ever ask for growing up, that's for sure. So if y'all are watching, thank y'all for all y'all did. But I wanted to specifically say, I'm glad my daddy, here I am saying dad, my daddy took me out, in the woods when I was younger, hunting. We'd go fishing, just walking through the woods, just doing whatever. And if it weren't for him getting me out of the house and doing that, I don't know if I'd ever have a fascination or love for nature like I do, or then I probably wouldn't ever become a photographer. I'd probably still be sitting at the house bored with nothing to do, but now I have a hobby and I enjoy it. And I say all that to say, he took the time to take me out and teach me things and teach me how to hunt and teach me how to fish and just get out in nature and do stuff, and appreciate the wildlife and the woods around us. So if y'all got kids, any of you watching have kids right now, especially younger kids, get them outside, do something with them. I don't care if you go to a park and walk the trails, just do something with them, get them off the iPads and the iPhones. I'm guilty of it too. I've done it with my kids, but if that's all they do, they're never going to have an appreciation for other things like nature. So, oh, I got to cut. There's a biker coming. Sorry about that. I had to cut. Actually saw somebody here today, so not the only one here. It makes me feel a bit better because it was very shady coming into this place. I'm not going to describe what I mean by that, but it was shady. And I drove through no telling how many mud holes to get here, and then I realized that there was another way to go around and bypass all that. So I'll know for next time. But anyway, that was a nice guy. He came up and waved to me, stopped and said hey, and I was like, hey, you're the first person I've ever seen. I'm just making a video, doing some photography. And he was like, awesome. I was like, all right, have a good one. But anyway, before he catches back up to me, the trail looped around this way. He's probably gonna be coming back this way. But before he does that, yeah, just want to end the thought on the last take. Yeah, get your kids out, get them out, get them instill in them a love for nature, not necessarily photography, but just the nature around us, because it's too beautiful not to get out and enjoy it. So anyway, I'm gonna turn the camera around. I'm gonna show you what I just took a picture of, and then we're gonna pack up and head on down the trail. I think we're more than halfway, so it shouldn't be too much longer, but we'll see. I've seen a lot of compositions here. I didn't know if I would, but I've been pleasantly surprised with this location. And there is 100% guarantee I will be back. So let me turn the camera around for you. This is what I shot. Looks very simple, I know. But just zoomed in, compressed way down there at the end of that trail, and I like the trees that are kind of just overhanging on both sides, left and right, just kind of swooping over, and you can see how much the light is coming through the scene and hitting the ground and all that dappled light. It just looks nice. So anyway, I'll go ahead and pop that one on the screen for y'all now, and hope y'all enjoy that. And I'm gonna get packed up, finish eating some jerky, and see you down the trail. Just walking along the trail here, and look what I found. I want to say that's an old well, but I don't think it is, because it's got steps that go down into it. And it looks like it just stops right there, about 8 feet down. So not really sure. Not really sure what's up with that. Right up that hill, there's a little bench, and in front of the bench, somebody put this big. Let me just show you. Mosquitoes are getting awful. Somebody put this big blue dog right here. There's the bench. Right across from the bench. A random blue dog. So I've been on several trails where people just do weird things on the trail. They leave different things hanging on trees, and I don't understand it, but whatever. But that well, or whatever that is, it's kind of unique. Makes you wonder what this place was back in the day. I read up on this place. I think the Army Corps of Engineers used this place for something. I don't know what it was, but I'll have to do some reading. If I find out anything, I may put some comments in the video or not. I don't know. There's little signs all over the place like this one. Caution. I don't know if that's because of the whale that was there. I don't know what that was for. Definitely. There's the biker again. Let me hold on. I'll bring you back in a minute. All right. Well, dang it. I feel bad now because I just talked to the guy that I met the first time I saw on the trail just a few minutes ago. I spoke with him when I cut on the last photo I took. Well, I passed him again. Super nice guy, awesome guy. I just feel bad because when we talked about this place and we talked about the history of it, and after about a 5-minute talk, he told me his name in the beginning when we first started talking, and then right after we left, he said, "Man, what was your YouTube channel again?" And so I told him, I was like, "The Southern Photographer." All right. And he said, "All right." He said, "Nice to meet you, Hunter." And then I walked off and I completely forgot his name. So man, I'm sorry. If you do find my channel and you watch it, leave a comment and let me know your name, because I'm horrible with names. If I don't say your name 100 times in my head, I'll forget it. And I just went blank. I don't even want to guess. But he was a really nice guy, very knowledgeable about this place. He actually said we're not far from where I parked my truck when I'm leaving, and I may do this and show y'all. He said there is an old model. What is that? Blizzard scared me. I thought it was a snake. He said there was an old model of the Mississippi River. I think where the Army Corps of Engineers, as I was saying earlier, kind of built a model of it to test things and study on like the drag of the river and all this and that. So anyway, I may go check that out. He said there's some of it still remains of the model they made still over there. So, and there's an old water tower and a fire tower. So I may check that out as well. But let me see where I'm at on this trail. Figure out how to get out of here. But yeah, again, if you do find my channel and if you find it, leave a comment, let me know your name. I apologize, I'm bad with names, but I was so focused on trying to tell you my YouTube channel that I completely forgot your name just that quick. So awesome guy. I wish I would meet more people like that on these trails. So, all right, back to getting back towards my truck and maybe find a few more compositions. Let's go. Another well, even though it's not a well. This one you can actually see some plumbing through there. There's a pipe that goes in there. So random. Big dirt pit over that way. Just, I'm definitely gonna have to read up on the history of this place because I don't understand what's going on here. Crazy stuff. Do you see it? Do you see the water tower? Pretty cool. That's not far from where I parked either. Way off in the distance. It may not be focused on it because it's focused on my face, but it's there. Let's see if we can zoom in. There we go. Now you can see it. All right, y'all, that is it for this video. I say that's it. It may not be. I am going to go try to check out that model of the Mississippi River that they made years and years and years and years ago. Maybe even the water tower. If I do that, after this, I'll just cut straight to that. But if not, I had a great time. This is one of the best locations I've ever been to in Mississippi, where I live. Definitely will be back, and I will be wearing the proper gear so I can really get deep off in the woods and pick out some unique compositions. But thank y'all for following along. Again, the guy I met, if you find my channel, if you watch the video, leave a comment, let me know your name. It was nice to meet you. I just suck at remembering names and I forgot. So anyway, we'll be coming back, especially in the fall. So if y'all enjoyed it, at least a little bit, give me a like. Let me know which photo was your favorite. I know there's a few with a trail in it, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm a sucker for it, so sorry, not sorry. All right, I'm gonna get in the truck, get some water, get some air blowing on me. Oh. And if I see you down the road, I'll see you down the road at that water tower. If not, I can't even talk, I'm so thirsty. See y'all in the next one. All right, well, I decided to go anyway, check out the river, the Mississippi River basin model or whatever. There's an old building here, an old building there, and then you've got the the water tower there. So we can go around this road right here and see if it leads us to the model, or what's left of the model of the Mississippi River, what they built, I guess, to study the river and maybe plan and prepare for floods, and I don't know what they did. Let's go see if we can find it real quick. Kind of creepy. Another one of those holes. Sounds like a mockingbird up there. Well, to be honest, I expected something a little different. But I'm assuming this is the model of the Mississippi River. That being said, I'm sure it was made a long time ago. Looks like another river or creek that ran into it here, right there. Not sure what all the numbers mean. Looks like they got a wall here. It's kind of crazy though. Model of the Mississippi River. Good gosh. Okay, this thing just, oh, holy crap. Did y'all hear that? Oh gosh, I don't know what that is. That just scared the piss out of me. That whole entire plate there just shifted while I walked on it. It moved. Oh my good gosh. What in the world? Oop! Alright, well, I'm going to put this down and record that because that was creepy. That's weird. Whew. I'm not sure I like that. Let me get my screen flipped around. I don't know how safe this place is after that. The whole concrete slab just shifted. Like, I guess the ground was loose underneath it. Pretty cool though. As you can see, I'm not going to spend much more time here. But there's just model of the river. I guess so they could study it back then. And it goes all the way out there. Alright y'all, well, that's a wrap. I'm not sure if I'm even going to include this on my video, but I just want to go check out that model of the Mississippi River because I've heard about it all my life and never saw it. And there's the old water tower again. He said there's a fire tower you can go up on and actually still walk up to the top of it. I'm not doing that. I don't have any faith in the tower not to collapse. So, not going to be doing that. Alrighty. Well, I'm headed home. Again, thank y'all for coming along. If you enjoyed it, leave me a like, comment if you need to. If you got any questions, let me know what your favorite picture was. Subscribe if you hadn't already, and I will see y'all next time. Take care.